This week's episode is brought to you by alcohol, keeping ugly girls interesting since the dawn of time. Hello, and welcome to a show that wonders, is it racist to serve fried chicken at a Black Lives Matter meeting? Here on the PeterPod Network!
To people who don't know who I am, show at my special. That's bullshit. Part of me really believes that. The other part is I just like pissing off people with kids, you know?
I'll tell you what. If you've seen him before, you're going to want to see him again.
So I think this fashion statement says, I'm having a good fucking time!
Hello, and welcome to another episode of America's, nay, the world's, most deranged yet lovable podcast. He's Will in the back, I am PeterPod, and this is episode 34 of the PeterPod Network. I want to start right off this week by recognizing this week's email response to the newest segment, which I wasn't even sure anyone would notice. But last week, we replaced the Let's Do segment with our new look at all things fucked up and what we have been calling our world. From all appearances, it looks like our world may stick around for a little while, as we do have another set for you this week. We're not giving up on Let's Do, but let's see what happens when we play around a little bit with something new. Also, it looks like last week's cover song parodies went over better than a NAMBLA field trip to Thailand. At least half the emails we received at the PeterPodNetwork at gmail.com this week were giving us some free love minus the LSD regarding those parodies, and to those we couldn't respond to, we do thank you, and you should expect more to come. Oh, and I am so happy to mention, about half the emails we received were for the songs and the new segment, but more than a few were just making fun of the butt slut. Apparently someone beat us to it and put the photo on a couple Facebook pages, and the comment section, from what I'm being told, are fucking hilarious. And other than the randos, that's about all we have for the emails this week. And with all that said, remember to include the THE when you email the PeterPodNetwork at gmail.com if you want to chime in as well, or if you have something you'd like us to cover. I can only imagine what responses people who leave out the THE and the email address are getting, because someone has it. I wasn't able to get that one with the THE when we registered for Google for the email and the website, so someone has it. And if that person is listening, I guess we apologize because you must be awfully confused. Our emails even scare us a little bit sometimes, and we were the ones who invited them. Also, hit the subscribe button and follow us at PeterPod Network on all the major socials. You know the rigmarole, and I don't really want to go through it again, so check us out in all the big ones and see what we're up to. And while you're fucking around on the interwebs, check out the archives at PeterPodNetwork.com to see all things PeterPod Network. Full episode songs and the evidence page, while it lasts as it is right now, are all there to help you get through your workday without committing a violent crime. Because seriously, jail sucks, and having to explain why you tried to strangle Jim from accounting with the cord to his own mouse, to both your boss and a judge, are not how you want to spend the day. The archives and all the new episodes are also available on Amazon, Samsung, Spotify, and other podcast services. So find them and follow, and let us know what you think. So before we hit you with our first shot, I just wanted to ask if anyone else is getting sick of this weird censorship thing going on. Normally this shit resolves itself and settles down like McCarthy back in my grandfather's day, or how parents didn't sleep in the same bed and no one used the bathroom on television until the 70s. Generally speaking, free speech wins out eventually, and everybody chills the fuck out at some point. But, and I mean especially on the web, we are absolutely preventing people from saying what they want to say, and I, for one, think we are missing out on a lot of useful and possibly hilarious moments. It's not a perfect plan, don't get me wrong. I know the porn content in the web will go from 99.8 to 99.9%. But I think it may be worth considering to back off and stopping people from saying what they want to say, especially when it comes to deciding things like who's coming to Thanksgiving dinner and where they sit. Uncle Philly's drunken post about the real reason why he watches the Netflix movie Cuties twice a week for a year now will probably be a big help when deciding if you want to put the kids' table in the other room. Just putting that out there. How many single mothers would benefit from being able to know before going on that first date to Chuck E. Cheese for some reason, the real reason why your date is so interested in meeting your kids? Do you want to know if your neighbor's a racist? You could just share the latest Barack Obama post to their Facebook page and see what their comment section says. I'm just saying that we think we're protecting our precious little feelings, but in fact, we may be making it harder to find out who we're protecting our feelings from. Again, just putting it out there. And with that said, let's get this fucking thing started. You ready for a rant? Well, sweet. Here it comes, right after this. My girlfriend is 95. She She said she'd buy me a PS5. Already got a new car. I only had to sleep with her. She smells like ointment, but I got me a brand new watch. Sure, it's like having sex with a corpse, but it's better than having to get a job. She eats dinner at 4 p.m. and then she has me after Hollywood Square. She may be older than dirt, but she'll buy me almost anything. She smells like ointment, but I got me a brand new watch. Sure, it's like having sex with a corpse, but it's better than having to get a job. She smells like ointment, but I got me a brand new watch. Sure, it's like having sex with a corpse, but it's better than having to get a job. She smells like ointment, but I got me a brand new watch. Sure, it's like having sex with a corpse, but it's better than having to get a job. She smells like ointment, but I got me a brand new watch. Sure, it's like having sex with a corpse, but it's better than having to get a job. What are the words to the song? I don't know, but I'll carry on, because I've got something to say. And here comes the rant of the week. Hola amigos, and welcome to episode 34's edition of The Rant. Let's say we just get right into this one this week, yeah? So it's become more and more clear to me that the creepiest and weirdest thing on this goddamn planet is people. No fish from the bottom of the sea or insect from deep in the rainforest is as fucked up in everything it does or is than a human being. Just like we're the only things on the planet that feel that because we have thumbs, we can't walk around with our junk out. Just name me this. What is the one thing on this earth that can be accused of being a wanted animal rapist? There's not a lot of otters out there smoking meth and offering a good time for the right money is what I'm saying, I guess. I know we all thought as a species that we're better than everything else around us, but not only are we the only things who make doomsday cults, but we're also the only thing that has the concept of a doomsday. The only thing Mickey Mouse has in common with a real mouse is that neither has ever given a thought to the end of the world, and they both seem pretty fucking happy doing what they're doing, no? Makes me wonder if good and evil even exist if you don't know what they are. Seriously though, I really hope the next boost in evolution doesn't happen for a long time, because when some buffalo or that species of tick that gives you Lyme disease gains a higher sentience and takes a hard look at something like Andy Dick, or even worse, our podcast for instance, we are fucked. Not just because we think we're the fucking hottest thing since the sun, but also because the angriest thing on this goddamn planet is you. Alright, let's get ready for the news. Strap in. Where can you hear about this fucked up town? Only on the news. Hear it on the news. Did some crackhead run out into traffic? Find out on the news. Crack is a hell of a drug. Heard it on the news. Where's my beat? Yeah. Little Dean came in, find an alien, find out on the news. Is he mother really your brother? Find out on the news. Mom, you got a lot of explaining to do. Hello and welcome to episode 34's edition of the PPN News. This edition of the weekly Jackass Award winner was a no-brainer after learning that 43-year-old Asbury Park, New Jersey resident known as the Bedford Hotel Machete Killer, aka Theodore Lucky, who apparently is anything but lucky, or, sane, pled guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder last week and was then sentenced to life in prison after hacking up 28-year-old Nathan Cashman with a machete in a Bedford, New Hampshire hotel room. And that was after he had tied 60-year-old David Hannaford to a bed and strangled him. So basically, someone needs to let Theo's mom know that he's going to miss a few Christmas dinners. As it is being reported on ManchesterInformation.com, in August of 2021 at the Country Inn and Suites on South River Road in Bedford, when police arrived, they found a dead guy in the lobby, and another one in a room. Which you would think would mean there's a hell of a party going on, but after witnesses described a bloody white guy running around holding up his pants, presumably because he wasn't wearing them, I guess, and as he ran by, a tall black man with a machete hit the victim in the back of the head with the large blade. And I would imagine that it made a sound not unlike a melon hitting the pavement from about 10 stories up. And then he chased the victim behind the front desk, where he continued to stab him repeatedly. In total, Lucky's responsible for causing 120 wounds, proving, if nothing else, that Theo's no stranger to cardio. There's a whole nother aspect to this story involving one guy going back to his ex-girlfriend, but he let himself be tied to a bed for gay sex, if I'm reading this right. It reads like the best episode of Dora the Explorer that was never made. The one where the monkey reveals to his BDSM boyfriend that he's... Maybe I shouldn't finish this one. What else we got? A close runner-up for the weekly Jackass Award, and it was fucking close this week, as Amanda Mitchell has pled guilty to 2 counts of first-degree assault, and for some reason the attempted murder charge was dropped after police responded to an injured child report at 1837 Elm Street in Manchester back in February 2021. Manchester. Who didn't see that one coming? After reports say that when police arrived, they found a 12-year-old girl riddled with stab wounds and slice marks on her body. As the story goes, Amanda Mitchell walked into the room and just began beating the fuck out of her kid. And before you get judgy, I'm sure we all wanted to beat the fuck out of our kids at one point or another. Well, she did, and at some point the child escaped the room and began running room to room while being chased by the elder Mitchell. And as police described it, left drops of blood in a trail all over the home. This girl needs to brush up on her hide-and-seek skills. Fuck. Emergency room doctors described the cut in her neck as ear-to-ear, as well as other wounds, all caused by her mother. Manchester Police Chief Alan Aldenberg expressed his disappointment at the plea deal because, and this is in our words, not his, why the fuck would you charge the obvious Mother of the Year award winner with just assault after she tries to stab her 12-year-old daughter to death? What the fuck? Oh shit. Guilford residents are keeping an eye in the skies this week after a fucking plane crashed into Patrick's Plaza, a shopping strip in Guilford, New Hampshire. Only one person was on board the flight and was taken to Concord Hospital for a trauma evaluation. Witnesses at the scene were quoted as saying, "It was bad enough when we let women drive. Now we have to deal with this?" This has been the news. Ooh, 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 ooh. Nobody knows for certain that what we need, lost satellites, you and me, land a survival guide and a strong knife. Oh, that's how it goes when the world goes away, and though we wish it weren't so. If you want to survive, then come with me. We've got to escape these zombies. Save your life from the walking dead. There's no tomorrow. Don't stab them in the head. Save your life from the walking dead. There's no tomorrow. Don't stab him in the head. Was that a bomb or a fire? And it burns like it's coming for you. The dead come with one desire, to eat all your brains. Oh, and it ain't easy to stay stay alive. And if they eat me, don't start to cry. To them I'm just a giant steak. Oh, taking this alley was a mistake. Save your life. From the walking dead, there's no tomorrow. Don't stab him in the head, save your life. From the walking dead, there's no tomorrow. Don't stab him in the head. To stay alive, and if they eat me, don't start to cry. To them I'm just a giant steak. Oh, taking this alley was a mistake. Save your life. From the walking dead, there's no tomorrow. Don't stab him in the head, save your life. From the walking dead, there's no tomorrow. Don't stab him in the head, save your life. From the walking dead, there's no tomorrow. Don't stab him in the head, save your life. From the walking dead, there's no tomorrow. Don't stab him in the head. Don't stab him in the head. Stab him in the head. You don't stab him in the head. Ooh, 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 ooh. Welcome to the party. Don't mind the widows in the back, they brought the best drugs. And look at how we're bringing you. It's kinda like the news, but we call it our world. Don't worry, folks, this won't take much time. Kinda like the news, but not quite. And hey, we're bringing you the real news. Not the shit you see on The View, not the shit that makes you sad. Sit back, relax with your girl, and welcome to another edition of our world. 95-year-old Amu Haji, who is also known as the dirtiest man in the world, after refusing to bathe for more than 60 years because for some dumbass reason he thought it would make him sick. And I suppose in a land where the drinking water is downstream from the next village's shitting hole, he may have a point. And was actually proven right, as the world's dirtiest man finally took a bath, and you guessed it, he died. Our condolences go out to the family of a woman known only as 54-year-old Jara, who worked a plantation on the island of Sumatra in Indonesia. And not just because plantations exist, but also because she got swallowed by a 22-foot-long python on October 23rd, proving once again the old adage, a pregnant steak is not always a pregnant snake. A news program like this wouldn't be complete if we didn't take a little trip down to Florida. And as it turns out, a Florida neighborhood is on high alert after a bunch of visits from what is being described as a well-dressed man wielding a machete that has been heard and seen on doorbell surveillance knocking on random doors. The man is reported to be using the machete to do the knocking and then casually walking away when no one answers. Witnesses describe him as very intentional, very businesslike, like he was dressed for a meeting. And I'm guessing it was a PTA meeting, because if anyone has been to a parent-teacher meeting, you know what the machete was for. Artwork from 1941, made by Dutch abstract artist Piet Mondrian, which, holy shit, I think I got that right, which has been hanging in various museums for roughly 75 years now, is being seen in a different perspective after an old photo of the painting on the artist's easel has been discovered. And it was found to have been hung, this whole time, upside down. Museum curators have decided to continue to hang the piece upside down because, fuck you, that's why. Miller Lite has decided that what's more festive than celebrating your alcoholism this year, as they introduced the beer keg tree stand. Essentially just a keg with a table on top, the Christmas kegger, as some are calling it, is sure to be a big hit with single fathers who aren't allowed to see their kids everywhere this holiday season. Hey, welcome to the party. Don't mind the widows in the back, they brought the best drugs. And look at all we're bringing you. It's kinda like the news, but we call it our world. Don't worry, folks, this won't take much time. Kinda like the news, but not quite. And hey, we're bringing you the real news. Not the shit you see on The View, not the shit that makes you sad. Sit back, relax with your girl, and welcome to another edition of our world. All right, everybody, that's it for this week. This has been episode 32 of the PeterPod Network. Make sure to check us out on all the major socials, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We still got that daily thing going on every weekday morning where we post on Facebook and Twitter, something to help you get through your shitty little day. Also remember to hit that subscribe button and check us out on Amazon, Spotify, and Samsung, as well as many other podcast systems. If you got something that you want us to know about, and even more importantly, if you got something you want us to talk about, let us know at thepeterpodnetwork at gmail.com. We are there to fuck around with everybody else's world. Check out the archives at PeterPodNetwork.com, and we will be there to show you all the favorite episodes. That includes every single episode, the songs, and all the bits that never made it to air. As well, go ahead and check out that evidence page like we keep saying, because it ain't going to be that way for very long. We are going to be adding a lot of shit. So, from PeterPod, we got Will in the back. We both put out, and we are out of here. Have a great week. Go outside. Do something.